adjustment or responses to stress that allow cells to modulate their structure and function and thus escape injury, called pathologic adaptation. Following are more important adaptive changes: hypertrophy, increase in cell size; hyperplasia, increase in cell number; atrophy, decrease in cell size; metaplasia, change in cell type. So, let's talk about hypertrophy. What is hypertrophy? Hypertrophy is increase in the size of cells, resulting in increase in the size of the organ, characterized by increase in cell size. In hypertrophy, there are no new cells, just bigger cells, containing increased amounts of structural organelles. Hypertrophy occurs when cells have limited capacity to divide. Hypertrophy can be physiological, like enlargement of uterus during pregnancy, or skeletal muscle hypertrophy, and hypertrophy can be pathological, cardiac enlargement, during hypertension. Here are some classical examples of physiological hypertrophy, like enlargement of uterus during pregnancy occurs as a consequence of estrogen-stimulated smooth muscle hypertrophy and smooth muscle hyperplasia. Skeletal muscle hypertrophy occurs in response to weight training. Alpha-myosin heavy chain is replaced by the beta-myosin heavy chain, which produces slower, more energetically contraction. Here in the given diagram, you can see the microscopic image of normal skeletal muscles on the left, as compared to microscopic image of hypertrophic skeletal muscles on the right. You can also see the gross image of normal and hypertrophic skeletal muscles. Here are some classical examples of pathological hypertrophy, like cardiac enlargement, ventricular hypertrophy, that occurs with hypertension. Left ventricular hypertrophy in hypertension. Right ventricular hypertrophy in pulmonary hypertension. Two types of signals are involved: mechanical trigger, such as stretch; trophic triggers, soluble mediators that stimulate cell growth, growth factors. In ventricular hypertrophy, there are changes in heart wall stress, which produce changes in gene expression, which leads to duplication of sarcomeres, which ultimately results in thicker and longer muscles. There's increase in cytosol, number of cytoplasmic organelles, DNA content, in each hypertrophied cell. Compensatory renal hypertrophy occurs when there is surgical removal of one kidney, which produces compensatory hypertrophy of the remaining kidney. There is also some degree of hyperplasia. Here in the given diagram, you can see left ventricular hypertrophy. Muscles of left ventricle becomes thicker and stronger. In CMV, cytomegalovirus infections, cell enlargement, which means cytomegaly, occurs because virus increases the uptake of iron into the cytosol, which increases the growth of cell.